So I want to welcome us to a brand new day. Today is Thursday, the 24th of April, 2025, and we're having an analysis session. Now, the instrument of interest today is actually the United States dollar, looking at the fundamentals. Though by 9 a.m., okay, exactly, it's 9:04 now, German IFO business climate has been released from the Eurozone. It's a medium impact event, not really expected to have much impact on the market. All right, the data came out good for the euro, so there could be some very slight movement in the euro pairs, but that's already a past event. So our focus is going to be on the dollar, and there are about 4 US dollar events later today. By 1:30 p.m., there'll be unemployment claims, core durable good orders, and existing home sales. Now, the unemployment claims is a high impact event, while the others, called durable good orders, durable good orders and existing home sales are medium impact events. Now, the unemployment claims is a completely different type of data compared to the core durable good orders and durable good orders. Now, these two are actually related. Then the existing home sales is another data altogether. So we don't know which direction the market is really going to go. But then if all the data comes out good for the dollar, then that will lead to a massive bullish movement on the dollar. And if on the other hand, they all come out bad for the dollar, now being color red, that will lead to a bearish movement on the dollar. But like I said, unemployment claims is not related to core durable good orders and existing home sales. So it's possible we may also have some data conflicting, while some may come out good, some may come out bad for the dollar, and that might lead to spikes in the market. So we can't say specifically which direction the dollar is going to go from what we're seeing on Forex Factory at the moment. But then I'll flip over to the chart now, look at what the chart is telling us ahead of the release of this data. Now I'll start with the dollar index. Now, from technical angle, the dollar index is trading below the support level on the weekly time frame. This is the support level. This is quite close, so we can make it a support zone. And we can see that price actually broke below that support zone last week. And this week, there has been bearish movement, and price is currently trading below that support zone on the weekly time frame. If we go down to the 4-hour, we can see the current daily candle, sorry, today's daily candle rather, is trading below the support zone, and this is 4-hour, still trading below the support zone. So from technicals, there's a possibility for price to drop lower because price is below the support zone. Yeah, it may drop lower and later go back to retest. That's also a possibility. And aside the technical, where we're looking at the bearish dollar, even from the fundamentals around the United States dollar, fundamental for the dollar is actually bearish, generally at the moment. Now, this is general fundamentals based on the economy, the American economy, not the data we're expecting later in the afternoon. For example, now the tariff that's been ongoing, it has induced a lot of volatility, which has weakened the United States dollar. And United States government has come under a lot of criticism globally at this moment. And that is, really, really leading to some weakness in the dollar. The latest being the threat of America to, infiltrate Burkina Faso and many other ones coming up. All this criticism here and there is really affecting the dollar. The dollar is fundamentally weak. And combined with what we're seeing from the technical angle, we might be expecting some bearish movement. So if the data by 1:30 p.m. for unemployment claims core durable good others, if they all come out bad for the dollar, that might lead to further bearish movement on the dollar. So we're all the bearish sentiment on the dollar for today. And next I'll be looking at is the US oil. That's the USD. That's the US oil. Now for the US oil, this instrument has been, price has been trending downwards for quite some time. We've seen some massive bearish movement. Price has dropped massively up until 2 weeks ago when there seems to be some rebound in price. You can see that 3 weeks ago rather closed as a rejection candle. And last week we saw some bullish movement. But then if you go down to the 4-hour time frame currently, what I'm seeing is the formation of what looks a lot like a head and shoulder pattern in formation, shoulder, head, second shoulder. If this completes, we may be getting ready for a downward movement in the price of crude oil. And on the fundamental side of this, fundamentally crude oil is bearish due to oversupply concerns, increased US production. US production of crude oil is increasing by the day. And also there is this side of clean energy transition. Clean energy is really gaining ground globally. So that also could lead to a drop in the global price of crude oil. So now we are anticipating a bearish movement on crude oil. Now that will be more clearer if price is able to eventually break out below the neckline region, which is this region here. So if we have a drop below this region, then we'll have a much bigger drop in the price of crude oil. So both from technical and fundamental will hold a bearish sentiment on crude oil. And this is even the rising wedge pattern to confirm our outlook. So a bearish oil. And next I'll look at is the NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ from fundamental is strongly very bullish, and that's due to economic growth, stronger consumer spending, and sector rotation. These are fundamental factors that is leading to strength in the NASDAQ. And on the technicals, there has been a massive drop in NASDAQ earlier on, due to all the tariff wars and other things happening in the United States. But then recently there was a kind of a retracement. You can see a sharp bullish movement. And looking at this from the line chart is giving a feel of a kind of a reversal of a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and that actually technically may lead to a bullish movement on the NASDAQ. So that coincides with the general fundamental outlook of the NASDAQ, that's NAS 100. So if you combine the fundamental and the technical, we're maybe looking out for a more bullish NASDAQ. And on the 4-hour time frame also, we're seeing a pattern that looks a lot like an inverse head and shoulder, which may see NASDAQ go higher. On the short term, we may see some slight bearish movement, but in the bigger picture, NASDAQ might go bullish. And Tesla is another instrument I want to look at under the stocks. Now, Elon Musk still remains the richest man, though he has lost about $140 billion between January and now due to his support for the Donald Trump government and being the head of Dodge. And that's largely also due to the fact that Tesla stock has been dropping massively in the market. Tesla is getting a lot of boycott from different companies, different countries around the world, not just the United States, even the United Kingdom and many other countries. People are boycotting both Tesla and other Elon Musk products like Starlink. But here the focus is actually on Tesla. So Tesla has been badly hit globally. And even on the technicals, we can clearly see that Tesla is on the downtrend. We have a descending trend line with a resistance. So there's a potential for further drop in Tesla stock. If anybody can show this now, also with all the other fundamentals of what is happening in the US may have some further bearish movement on Tesla. In fact, it was said recently that Elon Musk is practically begging, his shareholders not to sell their stock, just to still hold it with the view that there's a possibility. Because if they sell further, that means the price may also drop beyond the current level it is now. So Tesla is bearish both technically and fundamentally. And there's a potential finally for gold. Gold might still go bullish. There are indications that gold may still hit $3,500. That's the fundamentals I'm seeing online. Though in the short term, there might be some bearish movement, but in the long term, gold might still, go bullish. All right, so this is gold. Now, on the weekly time frame, we can see price is forming a rejection candle, and there's a previous psychological level at 3,500. Price may go back to retest that level, but for now, let's look at what is likely to happen. So that's what led to the recent bearish movement we saw earlier on this week. Here we have a rejection candle that led to a drop yesterday. The green candle is today's movement. This is 4-hour. Now, from pure technicals, this is forming a head and shoulder, which may lead to a further bearish breakout. That's on pure technicals. But then on 1 hour also, will not deny the fact that this is another inverse head and shoulder, which may see price, go higher than the current level. So what I would say is that we are just in between on gold, and means that our clients should trade gold with a lot of caution. If price breaks out above this high, that's around $3,357 per ounce, then it means we will see a further bullish movement on gold. And if price breaks out below this recent low, it means on the big picture, the head and shoulder might be taking effect for, a drop. So a breakout above 3,357, we see price go higher, and a breakout below 3,317, we see price drop lower. So we can advise our clients on that. That's the range we're looking at on gold. All right, that'll be all from the analysis this morning. If there's any question with voice, you can ask your questions as we begin to unlock.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So I would like for us to look at XRP. You can help us look at XRP.
All right, so this is XRP on the weekly time frame. Price tested this support zone, and 2 weeks ago, we can see that sharp rejection candle, which will indicate a bullish movement. Last week, we saw some range. This week candle is still kind of ranging on the weekly time frame. All right, so this is the daily time frame. We're seeing an inverse head and shoulder, which could lead